Oh look, that's me. Oh, how embarrassing. Anyways, hi. Happy Labor Day weekend to anybody that is enjoying it, and to all of our laborers, blue collar workers. Thank you again. Anyways, a fan of the channel. I had a comment looking to go over the Ethereum chart and a couple of price points. And so I pulled up my Ethereum chart the way I keep mine, and yeah, I guess I keep my charts all drawn all over the place, but that's how I know I'm coming back to something I'm worthwhile looking at. But first things first, let's go to overview. We are back above the 1 trillion market cap. Just barely there. Volume has dropped off to about half of what it was midway last week. Bitcoin dominance is still dropping down just a hair. Charts are looking like the charts. Dominance is interesting here because I'm seeing ETH jumping up quite a bit in dominance. Could be something to think about. Let's see who's trending here. Not much is trending right now. Nothing is really blowing the doors off, or I'm looking at anything that's Opal. I think dropped a bit. That's a music NFT MFT music fungible token. This is an interesting project that is working on music and royalties, and making sure artists get paid for when their work is used, or whenever their work is copied, listened to, all the way down to it. That's some really compelling stuff that Algorand has available on its chain, and Opulus is one of those. It's very interesting to me. I like it because also I really enjoy music, and more importantly, I want to make sure that the musicians get paid, because in the history of the music industry, the actual talent, the artists usually were the last to get paid, and many people were exploited. A number of the early blues and rhythm and soul singers were all fully exploited completely. They would not be getting paid for a number of things that they were doing, and they were putting their blood, sweat, and tears into their work, and they were not getting paid. So that I think this is one of the reasons that cryptocurrency and this technology can change and can rectify industries. Adopting this here, and you can't steal from your artists anymore. And I think this is just one. I'm not touting it. Don't buy it, don't buy it, don't buy it, whatever. I don't think buy whatever you want, but this is one that I think is it's a really good project. And as you can see, their markets here. Of course, my favorite website here, Live Coin Watch, give you a really lot of good, detailed information, and clickable information too. You can jump around up here, get into all under their scans, all of their chain data. So, anyways, all right. So today, let's take a look at ETH and flatten that just a hair more. Okay. Out of my way. Question was whether or not ETH could flash to 4K again. Could. Or crash back to 900. A little bit lower than a previous all-time high, but has recently been tested, and a sell-off right there. That was as of June June 20th of this year. The way I'm reading this chart here, we're in the middle of a retracement off of an prior all-time high. So whenever I see a retracement off of an all-time high, I draw the Fibonacci. You know, you can draw, if this is a double tap on the all-time high, I'm not above bumping this up just a little bit here to clean it a little bit more from that prior all-time high, and then I draw it to the most recent, most severe retrace, so retests. So here we go. And this is also very optimistically drawn, as you can see, because this is counting on potentially the fin. If this cycle is drawn correctly, then we could see at the end of this cycle, not September, no, I'm saying at the end of this Fibonacci cycle, this market cycle here, we could see it tap 17,000 per ETH. That's an extreme highest end, and that's not a forecast, not financial advice. So, getting back to my theory though, looking at a prior all-time high, go back, look at your prior market activity. This is retrace off of a prior all-time high. Now, usually I just draw the retrace off of a prior all-time high, and I leave it on my charts because they always come back to be very interesting to look at in hindsight. And in fact, this one I went through and I drew a whole bunch of extra ones where I thought they would be applicable, and they kind of started to prove to me what Fibonacci sequence really was, and it was how much of a powerful tool it was for resistance and support measurements. So here we have a double tap of a prior all-time high, but this formation here is all wrong because a double tap shot it up and hit the top end of the Fibonacci extension here, right here. So let me make it a little clearer for us to see. So we blasted up out of 97, and then we hit that psychological floor of top of about 400. So this was a very fun. That was a very fun month for you guys. Oh no, I will go ad free. You know, I just need people to pay me. Anyways, not financial advice. I am not your financial advisor. You do not need to be paying me. So then we go to this prior all-time high breaking out of an extension. We have a pullback, a retrace test, finally a sell-off, and this is a severe sell-off because we were coming down from 1330 going all the way back down to 80. Now imagine if you had a couple hundred ETH in your wallet and you're looking at it going like, oh my god, I was so stupid, why didn't I sell back then? Well, that's the best thing about crypto, because let's see how many days. 2 years later, yeah. No, 3 years later, almost 3 years later, you were getting back up into from that low, another 3 years, and you were back up to retesting your prior all-time highs. So, have faith, whichever choice you go with. Even if you're an extremely long holder, just know you have to keep punching that clock. Regardless, so I saw this pattern here, and I'm going to take a look at it. So I'm going to take this bars pattern from this all-time high to this all-time high. I'm going to drag it over here, move it around with my fingers. You don't care to hear this. Alright. So, bars pattern from an all-time high. This is the This is the fall from 1330 all the way down to 80, um, 82, 70, something like that, and then it was a retrace back up into the prior all-time high. So this is at least something that we can look at historically and say, are we still correlating here? And we could still be. We're finding these ranges. Hey, if you take a look here, you're seeing these aren't drastic. We're not deviating wildly from them. It wasn't a double tap and then it was a fire off to 400. It wasn't a double tap at the very beginning, remember that. So we have slant coming down, we have resistance and falling along with the Fibonacci support levels. Then we start to hit into, this is curious, if we just look at only the bars pattern, the green bars pattern, and you're seeing how those levels have been revisited before. That bars pattern has jumped into the 410, the 608, the 781, and the 1164. Those are prior, support levels that I had tagged in previous levels. And if we take a look back here, we see that as we were recovering up above the 626 way back on December 20th, and then we fired off up, and then we got into it over here. That was all at the same Fibonacci levels as before, and these are very telling support structures to me. If no black swan event, if nothing else goes, could, I don't want to watch this, not right in my, there. But that's not going to happen. This chart's not going to happen. I'm gonna leave it on there, but this is not going to happen. We're gonna deviate from this because I think we're still in a downtrend. I don't know if 410 is going to be the absolute dead bottom of it. There's support levels back there for that. That's all I'm saying there is. If the merge goes well, I think this chart would be invalidated. If the merge does not go well, tanks horribly, and has serious problems, it has to do another 2 years before it's actually ready. It would be 2 years, max pain, to back to an all-time high of 45, 44. I'd be bearish on Ethereum but it's all up to the merge. If the merge happens, which should be happening, next week. Put a big old X right there. There. It's all going to happen right here. We're either going to stick with this and the price pressure on ETH and the complexity and the problems with it are going to punish holders. We're going into more of a more bearish potential, or it's going to fire up off and it'll V-bottom. Because if it goes so deflationary as they say it's going to go, and if it is needed for so much gas and everything, but if you don't need that much gas anymore, then is it really going to have that much value anymore? There's a lot of economic questions to ask of a computer network. So there's some deeper thoughts. Anyways, there's my thoughts on Ethereum. Yeah, we could see it revisit down. If we stick with this Fibonacci, if we retest the bottom of this Fibonacci structure that we're in now, we could see 851, 900 potentially as a bottom. of this Fibonacci structure here. Even more longer macro issues moving forward. If the merge doesn't go well, we could see a restructure of a retrace from a prior all-time high. This is just what ETH has done before, and we would have to be grinding back up through these Fibonacci's all the way until then, because we would likely extend this further down if this remains true. My 2 cents, not financial advice. Do your own research. But thanks for the request. Hope it was useful. Talk to you later.